Hello, I'm Luke and welcome to this SwopBots microbit tutorial. To get started, we're going to be using the MakeCode site. Now, you might be familiar with the standard makecode.microbit.org site, and if you want to use that, that's fine. But at the moment, I'm actually using their beta site, so it looks like Microbit are bringing out a new version of this, and you can access that by /beta, and I'm just using this to get familiar with it. I'm guessing this might take over from the main site. Sometimes when things are in beta there are issues, but I haven't had any problems with it, and it's not too different from the existing site. So you don't have to use the beta, but I'm going to for now. So I'm going to start off with a new project, and right now we're going to be making this is kind of the microbit for the Violum. So this is the microbit that you will hide, that you'll be searching for. So it's acting as the Violum buried beneath the sand. So we don't need forever. I'm going to have the on start block though. And because we're using radio, we're going to set up our radio group. Radio group can be any number you like. I'm just going to put 13, but this must be the same number as you use on the receiver, and if you're using other microbits at the same time with radio, you probably want to have a different number from them, or they're going to talk to each other and get confused. So we've set up our radio group. Now the next thing, we're going to be listening out to see if we've received a message via the radio. And I'm going to be listening for a string. So when I receive a string, and a string is kind of letters or letters and numbers, or normally we would think of a word. So we're listening for a string, and I need to see what is that string. So I'm going to go to logic and if, because I'm going to check if something is true. In here, I'm going back to logic and bringing in the equals block, and I want to know if this received string is equal to whatever it is I'm listening for, that I want it to be. So on this side, I'm going to put this variable in, whatever message I received, and I can get that from variables. Bring this block into there, and you should see now it's complaining. There's something it doesn't like, and if you click on here, this tells you what the problem is. And the problem is that this is a string and this is a number, so it doesn't like comparing or checking if a string is a number, kind of if a word is a number. So it doesn't like that. It's looking for another string here. And if I click in here, I can type numbers, but if I try to type words, nothing's appearing. I can't type letters into there. I need to go to advanced and come down to text, and here we have a text box, and that text box needs to go into there, and now I can type letters and words. And the string that I'm going to be listening for, again, it could be anything. It just has to match whatever it is you're going to put on your sending microbit. And I'm just going to use the word search because it's searching. So if the string, the word that it receives, is equal to search, then something is going to happen. What do I want to happen? Well, this microbit is going to send back and say yes, there's some Violum here. So I'm going to be going to radio, and I'm going to send back a string, and the string I'm going to send is Violum. So all this is doing, once the microbit's on, it's sitting there, it's listening for any signals from any other microbits that are in group 13. If that signal is a string, so not a number, and if that string is the word search, it's going to reply, and it's going to send back the string Violum. So the other microbit will receive that and know, yes, there's some Violum there. And that's all we have to do for this microbit. This is the one that will be hidden. This is acting like the Violum. So we'll stop here. You can save this and download to your microbit, and then we'll move on to the second part, which is the microbit like in the comic strip, the one that Switch has made, that Ruby is out using, searching for Violum. Hello, welcome back to part 2. Hopefully you followed part 1, where we set up our hidden microbit, and this is going to be the microbit used to find that one. So again, I'm using the MakeCode beta site. Going to go to new project, and again we're not going to use the forever loop in this one. Like before, the first thing we want to do is set up our radio group. And if you remember, we had 13 as the group before. If you used a different number, you have to use that same one here. But they need to be in the same group so they can talk to each other. And first thing I'm going to do here is have an input. And just to keep it easy, I'm going to use button A. And what we want to do here, when you press button A, you're going to send out a signal looking for any hidden Violum. So that's basically looking for the other microbit, wherever it is, wherever it's hidden. So to do that, we go to radio, and I'm going to send out a string. And if you remember from the last video, it was listening for that string, and we had the word search. So when you press A, this sends out the string search. Now, the other microbit, if you remember, when it hears the word search, it sends back a string, Violum. So we now need to listen to see if we get any response from any nearby hidden microbits. So I'm going to go back to radio, and I'm going to have on radio received string. And like before, we know we've received a string, but we need to check what that is. So we're going to use if to see what it is. And again, I want to go to my equals block. And again, I need to use this variable. So I'm going to go to variables and have received string in there. And again, I need to type a string into here. So I have to go to text, drag this text box out. And if you remember from the last video, the reply from that microbit was the word Violum. So if it receives Violum, it knows, yes, there's some Violum nearby. I'm speaking to another microbit that has Violum on it. And if it does, what we need to know is how close is that microbit. We don't just want to know yes or no, there's something nearby. We need to know how close it is. And to do that, we're going to do that via a number. And if I go to basic and show number, and the number we want is the signal strength. So I just go to radio, and this one is under more. Sometimes you're looking for something, you think it's not there, you forget you've got this more tab here. And it's this one. Once that's in, I'm going to change it from time to signal strength. And what's this doing is it's going to be listening. It hears Violum, and it knows how strong that signal is. The closer the other microbit, the stronger the signal. So if we get a number here that's showing it's a strong signal, then we know that the other microbit must be close by. And that's pretty much it. That's all the code we need. So I'll leave you to save that and to download it onto your microbit, and then you can use both of those microbits to play the Violum hunting game.